Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, everybody. It's my honor to introduce our next guest. He's a reoccurring guest. He's a familiar face. Bill Humbert. He's the recruiter guy, and he's talking about employee engagement and how to raise it. Bill, thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so first question I have. What's employee engagement?
Employee engagement, well, you're engaged with me right now, right? Okay, so you are interviewing me. And during our interview, they'll probably have questions come up in your mind that I didn't write down for you.
Yeah.
And then you ask them, well, that's being engaged.
Okay.
Okay? That's the important thing, is to be looking for opportunities to contribute within the organization.
Okay, and so when does this begin? Does this begin as soon as I throw in my resume for a job, or is it actually when I start getting face-to-face with whoever is interviewing?
It's a process.
Okay.
And as a process, it starts when the company is trying to hire somebody. So companies have two choices. They can either attract people, or what they can do is they can screen them out. So if you've seen that recent ZipRecruiter ad where they have all the cases of resumes in a forklift, we'll help you screen them out. Is that engaging with people?
No, not really.
No, you're screening them out. If you're attracting them, then what happens? They become engaged with you right then.
Okay, and then how do you improve recruiting to be more welcoming? Because I know sometimes it can be kind of, as we said with ZipRecruiter, you're kind of just taking these people, putting them over here, taking these people, putting them over here. All right, these people, we don't care. These people, we do care. How does it be more welcoming too? Because I'm sure as someone, an employee trying to, or just someone trying to get recruited for a job, for me it's like, oh, I hope I make it, and then it's just, here's a piece of paper that's hopefully it says good enough about me where you don't meet me face to face. And I'm sure as people who actually go through resumes, they're like, oh, this person, it seems boring on paper, but they could be welcoming in person.
Today's world,
yes,
the technology of recruiting. Today, companies require candidates not only to give them a resume, but also to complete an application. Well, completing an application takes time. And companies have conditioned candidates that they go through all of that work in that time and they never hear from them. So make it easy. If it's a professional candidate, allow that resume to either be the decision maker. I mean, the application's not going to help you make that decision. So just use the resume. The application can come later once there's been a conversation. And that's just one easy way to make engagement easier and more attractive.
All right, so we're engaged now, or at least I'm talking face-to-face with the company. What can the company do to make the employees more engaged rather than just talking? Like, is there seminars they can throw on, or what can they do, man?
Well, there's all kinds of ways that you can engage. You know, companies that are software companies have little conferences, 2 or 3 day conferences, and they're attracting their users. During that, you can just make a mention that, hey, by the way, if you know anybody, we're looking for new people. You may attract one of them, but you may attract one of their friends. The other thing is that when you're recruiting, make sure the person understands the entire process. And within 72 hours, every time there's been a contact. So an interview within 72 hours, get back to them, let them know how it's going. And let them know what's the next step. And every time you tell them what the next step is, then within 72 hours, you get back to them and say, okay, here we are now. That's really important during that process.
And then one thing that's super important to help engage employees is goals. For the upper management to have goals, and for the employees to have goals, and for those goals to align. So how do you engage in goals, and then what do you do once those goals are aligned?
Importantly, it's good to have the goals, the 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month goals in the job description. Now it's at the beginning of the process. There's no surprises.
And it makes it easier for people like me, if I'm applying, and then I know specifically what they want, rather than just, this is what we hope to be. We hope to be the next Google, and it's like, how do we get there?
Right, exactly. So if you have those goals set, then when you interview against the goals. When you bring them on board, you talk about the goals when you're welcoming the person. And then during the year, the manager can go, okay, where are you relative to your 3-month goals? Where are you relative to your 6, 9, and 12-month goals? far too often when I'm inside of companies as a recruiting consultant, I go past offices and I hear, "So, what's up?"
Bugs Bunny with the carrot. What's up, Doc? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so those conversations aren't helpful for anybody. So you want somebody to be engaged, talk to them about the things that they should be doing that engage them.
So besides just talking, what else keeps employees engaged? Say we're starting to hit that 6 to 9 to 12 month goal range. I mean, you've been an employee for that long. You're kind of, versed in the life of this company. How do you keep them being engaged and not fall out towards, like, well, I already hit 3 out of the 4 goals. All right, time to cruise on by. How do you keep them being like, all right, we hit 3 out of 4. Let's go 4 out of 4.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Your annual review is based on you hitting 4 out of 4
Yeah.
or finding something else and making it 5 out of 5. So that's the engaged person. That's the person who looks for things in addition to their contribution and say, I've been here for 6 months now, but I've noticed there's a hole right over there.
Yeah.
Let's fix the hole.
Okay.
And then they go off and do that, and in the meantime, they complete the rest of their goals.
Perfect. And then, Bill, this can all be found in this book that you got right here?
This is the employee side.
Okay.
And the Employee 5.0 is a person who takes charge of their career by being engaged.
Okay. And I think it's important because being an employee, it's up to you to also kind of lead your engagement. You can kind of sit off in the corner and be like, all right, I'll wait for my, management to tell me what to do. But if you're constantly, being like, hey, let's do this, you're keeping your work engaged and you're probably not getting bored.
That's correct. And the best thing is people notice.
Yes.
And then when they notice, then you get raises.
Perfect. And Bill, where can people go to find out more about you, man?
Recruiterguy.com.
Recruiterguy.com.
And there's one more thing.
Yes.
October 17th, down in Salt Lake City, the National Speakers Association Mountain West chapter has a speakers showcase.
Okay.
And I'm going to be one of the speakers.
Oh, very cool.
All of us have 8-minute segments.
Okay.
And on the screen right now is the website. It's going to be a great time because there's great speakers that are going to come down there, and then you're going to get to see different people speaking on their topics.
Perfect. Sounds like a good time. Bill, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. I always learn something new when you're on the couch that I normally, wouldn't even think about. So thank you so much. We appreciate
you,
being
Conrad.
on. If you want any more info on Bill or just, employee engagement, definitely pick up this book or go to recruiterguy.com. We have a bunch more coming up on the Mountain Morning Show, so stay tuned after this commercial break.